If you have identified that your pressure is low on the system, below 1 bar, and you do need to top it up, a lot of people don't feel comfortable doing this, but it is relatively straightforward if you follow these simple steps. What you're looking for is 2 valves on the system. Typically these are located below or near the appliance. Sometimes they can be in the airing cupboard as well. There will be occasions where they're below worktops, so sometimes you do have to look a little bit for these. Alternatively, sometimes they can actually be built into the boiler itself. You would just check that by just having a look underneath the boiler itself. And a lot of them, they have a key or a little paddle or a flap, which you'll be able to see and then actually fill the appliance from there, okay? All we're doing is putting water into the system. You'll see these 2 valves now have got caps on them. One is the cold main, okay? So that's where we're gonna fill from, and we're gonna input water into the system, into the heating system through this valve here. These are both turned off at the moment in the closed position, as you can see. So we're going to disconnect these filling caps. Your filling loop might already be connected at this point. So we'll connect this filling loop on like such. These are just finger tight. You don't need grips, you don't need any fancy tools. There's a rubber O-ring in this filling loop, so finger tight should be absolutely fine. So my filling loop is now connected, joining the cold main to the central heating system, and my valves are currently shut. I'm going to start with the cold main, and I'm going to turn that no more than 45 degrees. It will only turn 45 degrees anyway, so the lever is actually in line with the pipe. Okay, so now we've got a live system. Now we want to be paying attention to the gauge, because we're going to turn the heating valve on as well and turn that 45 degrees, and we're going to increase the pressure in the system. Whilst you're doing this, you'll actually probably start to hear the water going into the system, as well as seeing the pressure gauge rise on the front as well. Okay, so we're going to fill that up to around 1.5 bar, and then we're going to close the heating valve shut like that, and we're going to put the cold valve shut as well, 45 degrees. There's going to be water in this, so have a dust sheet down or something to hand so you can capture the water. Can be a bit tricky, but should manage it. Okay, put my filling loop down, and I'm going to put my caps back on as well. Okay, so now my system's back up to 1.5 bar of pressure. My filling loop's disconnected, and at this point you go back to your appliance, reset it, or it may have automatically reset itself because you've applied pressure back in the system, and touch wood, your boiler's back up and running. If this goes down again, it's going down frequently, it's likely you are losing pressure on the system somewhere, which is where it's best to give us a call to come and investigate to see what's going on. Thanks a lot.